Have you ever wondered why, no matter how much you pray and work hard, the doors of Rizq still feel closed? Sometimes, before Allah grants you blessings beyond imagination, He places you through a series of tests. Tests that purify your heart, strengthen your patience, and prepare you for what is coming. These moments can feel confusing and heavy. You might ask yourself, why is this happening to me? Why is everything delayed? But what you don't realize is that these very struggles may be a sign that Allah is getting you ready for a provision so great that, if given too early, it could harm you instead of benefit you. In this video, we'll uncover 5 powerful tests that often come before Allah sends a rizq you couldn't even imagine. If you are going through any of these right now, know that your opening may be closer than you think. 1. Patience during extreme hardship. One of the first and most profound tests Allah gives before granting extraordinary rizq is the trial of hardship. These are moments when life feels blocked from every direction. Doors you once thought were open suddenly close, and your efforts seem to bear no results. This period can feel suffocating, yet it is in these moments that Allah observes the depth of your patience and trust in Him. During these tests, a believer learns to detach from relying solely on worldly means. Instead of rushing to find solutions in haste or falling into despair, the test teaches you to turn back to Allah with full reliance. Every setback becomes a silent call, pushing you to strengthen your connection with Him through prayer, dhikr, and sabr. Often, the wisdom behind this hardship only becomes clear later. By facing struggles and not giving up, you are being shaped to handle bigger blessings. If rizq came without such trials, it might overwhelm you or make you forget the giver. These hardships serve as preparation, purifying intentions and teaching humility. The longer the trial, the greater the capacity you build to value what is coming. Patience in these difficult times becomes the key that unlocks the rizq you never imagined. 2. Losing something or someone you love. Another deep test that often comes before Allah blesses someone with extraordinary rizq is the loss of something or someone they hold dear. This form of trial is not a punishment but a way to realign the heart. When a person is deeply attached to a blessing, there is a danger of loving that gift more than the one who gave it. Through loss, Allah gently pulls the heart back toward Him, showing that true security and fulfillment can only be found in reliance upon Him. This test creates an emptiness that no worldly possession or person can fill. In that space of pain, a believer discovers the sweetness of turning to Allah for comfort. These are moments when tears become du'as, and dependence on the Creator grows stronger than ever. Losing something precious also teaches a person to value what remains, while purifying the soul from arrogance and attachment. Through this process, Allah strengthens the believer's resilience and gratitude. Once the heart learns to place ultimate trust in Him rather than in created things, a door opens. It is after these deeply personal tests that Allah often replaces what was lost with something far better. The believer, now humbled and closer to Him, is ready to receive a rizq that is larger and purer than they could ever imagine. 3. Delay in the acceptance of du'as. One of the most subtle but powerful tests before Allah grants immense rizq is the delay in the acceptance of your du'as. You may pray sincerely, with tears and full conviction, yet days, months, or even years pass without seeing any sign of your request being answered. This waiting period is not neglect, it is a deliberate test to see whether your faith depends on instant results or on unwavering trust in Allah's wisdom. During such a delay, a believer learns that dua is more than a request, it is an act of servitude. Each repetition of a prayer builds a stronger connection to Allah. The waiting purifies intentions, removing impatience and showing that blessings come on Allah's perfect timeline, not ours. Through this delay, Allah shapes your heart to grow in tawakkul, reliance. It is often in these silent stretches that a person discovers how much they truly depend on Him. The soul learns to keep knocking on the door, even when it remains closed for a long time. When the response finally comes, it arrives in a way far better than what was asked. The believer, who has been made stronger by waiting, values it deeply and understands that Allah's timing was always flawless. Sometimes, the blessing that comes after years of dua is so extraordinary that it makes the long wait seem insignificant. 4. Tests through people. Another way Allah tests a believer before granting extraordinary rizq is through people. These tests come in many forms: betrayal by someone you trusted, harsh words that wound the heart, jealousy from those around you, or opposition from unexpected places. These moments can be deeply painful because they come from human interactions, yet they carry wisdom that shapes character in a unique way. Such experiences expose the reality of human dependence. They remind a person that even the closest companions can falter, and that ultimate reliance should be on Allah alone. Through these challenges, the believer learns to purify intentions, act with sincerity, and rise above pettiness. Another hidden blessing of these tests is that they train patience and forgiveness. When people wrong you, it is a chance to practice restraint and respond with dignity rather than anger. These experiences soften the heart and build emotional strength. Often, these trials clear your path. Certain relationships or influences that may have become obstacles to your growth are removed, making space for better companions and cleaner opportunities. They also refine how you handle future success. By the time the risk arrives, the believer has already been shaped into someone who can manage it without arrogance, bitterness, or vengeance. 5. Being given small risk first. Before Allah opens the doors to a risk you could never imagine, He often tests you by giving only a small amount first. This stage is not about deprivation, it is a test to see how you respond when what you have is limited. With restricted means, a believer's character becomes visible, whether they show gratitude for little, manage it responsibly, and remain content, or whether they fall into greed, impatience, and complaint. Small risk teaches a person to appreciate value. It develops discipline, making every blessing count. Instead of wasting, you learn how to use resources wisely. It also softens the ego, showing that wealth and abundance are not guaranteed but are given and withheld by Allah's will. Through this period, Allah observes how a person speaks of their situation. Do they constantly compare themselves to others, or do they acknowledge that even a little is a gift? This test shapes humility and gratitude in a way abundance never can. When a believer proves they can remain thankful and responsible with a small share, the stage is set for something far greater. At that point, the expansion of risk is not only a blessing but a trust. The person receiving it is now prepared to handle it with balance and awareness of the one who gave it. Life's trials are never meaningless. Every hardship, every delay, every loss and test through people, all of it can be a sign that Allah is shaping you for something far greater than you expect. Risk is not only about wealth, it is about peace, blessings, and opportunities that come at the perfect time. So, if you find yourself in one of these tests, hold firm, keep your heart connected to Allah, and never lose hope in His plan. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Ascend Deen for more inspiring reminders.